Oh my goodness. That's a great question because you would probably get just a handful of people that would be on that list.
They say kindness defines Vince Gill, but what if the nicest guy in country music has a secret side you never saw coming? Behind the warm smile and soulful ballads is a man with a memory like steel, and a private list of enemies he'll never share a stage with. From quiet snubs to unspoken feuds, Vince Gill, at 68, has reportedly drawn a bold line through 8 names, artists he couldn't stand. Curious who's on that list? You'll be shocked by a few. Let's uncover the truth he's kept hidden for decades. This is the story of Vince Gill's hidden tensions with some of music's biggest stars. A journey into quiet feuds, unspoken rivalries, and subtle snubs that sent shockwaves through the country music world. From megastars like Garth Brooks to genre benders like Kid Rock, each name on his rumored blacklist has a backstory filled with artistic disagreement and deep personal principle. Let's begin with someone fans always expected him to collaborate with, Garth Brooks. In the 1990s, both men stood at the top of the country music scene. But while fans dreamed of a joint performance or a duet album, it never happened. Behind the scenes, there was tension. Garth Brooks became known for arena tours, pyrotechnics, and high-energy shows that bordered on theatrical spectacle. Vince Gill, on the other hand, kept things stripped down, his voice, guitar, and storytelling at the center of every performance. Sources say that in the early 2000s, Garth offered Vince a high-profile duet opportunity, but Vince declined. Some claimed it was about scheduling. Others whispered it was about principle. Vince Gill had often warned about country music turning into what he once called Broadway with boots. The remark came during a CMA event, and though he never mentioned names, insiders say the message was clear. He disapproved of Garth's showbiz-heavy approach. Despite appearing at the same events, Vince and Garth were rarely seen interacting. At a tribute concert in 2010, Vince Gill was scheduled to perform while Garth Brooks sat in the audience. Yet Vince quietly pulled out at the last minute. To this day, they've never recorded together, and that silence speaks louder than any feud. Then there's Kris Kristofferson, the outlaw poet of country music. Known for his raw, emotional lyrics and unpolished delivery, Kristofferson represented the rebellious spirit of the genre. But Vince Gill saw things differently. He was a perfectionist. Every note had to be precise, every lyric refined. While Vince respected Kristofferson's talent, sources say he couldn't relate to his messy style of songwriting. Their relationship remained polite but distant. They shared stages at award shows, exchanged small talk, but never collaborated. To Vince, Kristofferson's work was powerful, but undisciplined. His disregard for structure and polish clashed with Vince's musical philosophy. More than that, Kristofferson stood for rebellion, ignoring Nashville's systems, pushing back against commercial norms. Vince Gill, while not a strict traditionalist, believed in balancing authenticity with professionalism. Their unspoken rivalry mirrored a deeper divide in the genre. A similar story unfolded with Billy Ray Cyrus. When Achy Breaky Heart exploded in the early 1990s, it changed country music. Line dancing took over, and Billy Ray Cyrus became a household name. But not everyone was cheering. Vince Gill reportedly disliked everything the hit represented: flash over depth, trend over tradition. He saw Billy Ray's success as a marketing phenomenon, not a musical achievement. The flashy style, tight jeans, and crossover appeal clashed with Vince's image of what country music should be. Insiders say Vince was always cordial around Billy Ray, but never warm. He never collaborated with him, never praised him publicly. Behind the scenes, he kept his distance. The tension wasn't just about one song. To Vince Gill, Achy Breaky Heart marked the beginning of a wave, one where catchy hooks replaced storytelling and stage persona trumped authenticity. In later years, when Miley Cyrus, Billy Ray's daughter, began blurring the lines between pop and country, Vince again stayed quiet. He didn't criticize, but he also didn't support. Another artist who shook up the country scene was Shania Twain. Crowned the Queen of Country Pop, she fused polished pop production with country roots, becoming a global icon. But her success came with critics, and Vince Gill may have been one of them. Despite dominating charts and opening doors for countless female artists, Shania never received a public endorsement from Vince. They never shared a stage, never worked together, and he never commented on her achievements. That silence didn't go unnoticed. Sources say Vince viewed Shania's style as too glossy, too commercial. It wasn't personal, it was about values. To Vince, country music was supposed to reflect real life, gritty, emotional, and raw. Shania's rise symbolized a genre moving away from those roots, toward glamour and mass appeal. Her influence brought forward stars like Carrie Underwood, Taylor Swift, and Kelsea Ballerini, artists who leaned heavily into pop. But in doing so, she widened the gap between tradition and innovation. And Vince Gill quietly chose his side. Then came Jason Aldean, one of the most visible faces of the bro country movement. His songs celebrated parties, small-town life, and good times. But to Vince Gill, the lyrics lacked substance. He believed country music should tell stories that matter, about love, loss, and life. The party anthems dominating the airwaves? To him, they were missing the point. Vince never mentioned Aldean by name, but his criticism of empty lyrics and commercial noise didn't need translation. Rumors spread that he declined appearances at events that heavily featured Aldean. It wasn't confrontation, it was quiet withdrawal. He wasn't looking for a fight. He was protecting the heart of the genre he loved. Next on the list, Kid Rock. A musical wildcard known for fusing rap, rock, and country, Kid Rock built a brand on controversy. His rowdy image, provocative lyrics, and unpredictable behavior made headlines everywhere. But for Vince Gill, it was the exact opposite of what music should be. He never addressed Kid Rock directly, but his comments about artists chasing chaos were telling. Vince values humility in music, a desire to serve the song, not the ego. And Kid Rock's approach? It was all ego, all branding, all noise. The kind of artist Vince Gill quietly steered clear of, even as others embraced him. Finally, there's Travis Tritt. Both men rose to fame in the 90s, but their styles were miles apart. Travis brought grit, attitude, and a rebellious spirit. Vince Gill stuck to melody, elegance, and emotional depth. The tension between them boiled over at a benefit concert in 1997. Vince reportedly made a comment about fake outlaws who can't write a verse. Travis didn't take it lightly. They call Vince Gill the nicest man in country music, but behind that warm smile lies a side few ever see. At 68, the legendary singer reportedly keeps a private list, not of friends, but of rivals. Artists he refuses to collaborate with, names crossed out in bold ink inside what some call his grudge book. Witnesses say one backstage stare-down with Travis Tritt was so intense, it froze the room. No words, no punches, just a silent message that echoed for years. Vince Gill doesn't do public feuds. He doesn't rant, tweet, or gossip. Instead, he draws his lines in silence, skipping performances, passing on duets, and refusing to endorse what he sees as the decline of country's authenticity. His rumored list includes 8 major names, artists who, in his eyes, traded heart and craft for flash and fame. In a world built on spectacle, Vince Gill's quiet refusal to play along might just be the boldest statement of all. Ready to find out who made the list? If you enjoyed this deep dive into country music's hidden drama, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more behind-the-scenes stories. Hit the bell icon so you never miss the truth behind the legends. Thanks for watching.